everyone, and welcome to another episode of Okay, Here is the Story. I am Dee Burns. So, today's reaction video is for Tom MacDonald and his song called Fighter. This came to me through a suggestion from a subscriber, and I kind of put it off for a little bit because I knew he was coming out with some new videos and whatnot, and I wanted to do those. So, I've heard this is a good song. We'll see when we get into the video. Before we do that, please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please leave me a comment about the reaction to this video, a reaction to another video. If you have a video you would like to see me react to, please put the link in the comment section, and yeah, I will eventually get to it. It might not be as quick as you would like, but I will eventually get to it. Okay, so that being said, let's get into the video.
Bottom of the ninth, up
It's not
against
good.
the odds, running out of time, only got one shot. When it's really do or die, when your back's against the wall, when you fighting for your life, do you believe in you or not? I'm a believer, I believe. I'm a believer, I believe.
I don't like that at all.
Second guessing every breath, I'm full of questions. Passes full of cigarettes, alcohol and depression. Therapists and all the different pills can get expensive. All this bottled up aggression, I'm too old to get arrested. Almost died trying to get here. Got high through my best years. Got sober, then I relapsed, then I cleaned up, got my head clear. Sometimes it feels like there ain't to believe in, but I believe that we're out here for a reason. You don't think you're a fighter, but I know you are. And you are a liar if you say you aren't. You don't think that you're worth it, but I think you're wrong. And I think you're perfect the way that you are.
Okay, there's a couple things I want to, typical Tom MacDonald song. We're only a minute and 8 seconds into it, and you got to stop it because he just says so much in his verses. I will preface this by saying I do not understand addiction. Best friend tells me all the time, you don't understand addiction. You don't understand, and I don't. I don't understand addiction. I guess there's nothing in this world that I can think of off the top of my head that I wouldn't give up. If my boys came to me and said, or if best friend came to me and said, I will no longer be in your life if you do not get rid of whatever. Like I said, off the top of my head, I cannot think of anything that I wouldn't give up. You know, I mean, maybe there is, but I can't think of anything that is, well, I can't think of anything, but I don't understand addiction. I don't. And I've had people in my life, a lot of people, not a lot, but I've had enough people in my life that have been addicted to things like he said, alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, and I've experienced it. I don't understand it. He said something about that he got sober and relapsed and something. And that is a true story. I know that he did drugs and he did go into rehab. And when he got out, he did relapse, however long that was. And then he got rid of it. He stopped doing drugs. And I don't know about alcohol. I don't, that part I don't know about, but I know that he has given up drugs. So he understands. I mean, he's writing this song from his experience, which is pretty cool. I think a lot of these artists, a lot of really good songs and really good artists, they write from their pain, from their heartache, from their addiction, from their dark place. And that is usually the really, really good song. So, okay, well, let's get back into it.
And I think you're perfect the way that you are. Tired from the pressure I put on myself for years. Tired from my 20s, the whiskey bottles and beers. Tired of smiling while I've been holding back tears. But I believe I can do it, so I'm here. I'm a believer. I believe. I'm a believer. I believe. I've been told I have a death wish, no one's interested. Cold and too aggressive, close to hypertension. I'm broken from the pressure, explosive with my temper. I'm sober, but I'm stressing and hoping it gets better. Am I falling off? Should I give it up or put it all on pause? Let go of this dream so I can visit home and talk to mom? Maybe all I need's another Instagram post with a quote about believing in yourself when you're low. You don't think you're a fighter, but I know you are. And you are a liar if you say you aren't. You don't think that you're worth it, but I think you're wrong. And I think you're perfect the way that you are. Maybe I'm weaker, and I know I've lost before, but I'm a believer. Nothing is impossible. I'm a believer. I believe. I'm a believer. I believe. You don't think you're a fighter, but I know you are. And you are a liar if you say you aren't. You don't think that you're worth it, but I think you're wrong. And I think you're perfect the way that you are.
Another song that just makes me fall in love with Tom MacDonald a little bit more. I know that he wrote this song. He wrote this song for people who are battling addiction or depression, or, I mean, that's kind of what I got out of the song. I cannot speak for that. He wrote this song as from that experience for him. I'm going to speak from a sick person with chronic pain, with multiple sclerosis. That's the only experience I have. In that second verse, he talked about, I wrote it down, smile, you smile to hold back the tears, I think is what it was. I will say that when the boys were younger and they were, they were living with me and I was raising them, I did that a lot. A lot of smiling to hold back my tears from my pain, because I never wanted them to know how much pain I was in. Now, being adult young men, they can tell. They've been around me long enough with my disease that they can tell. Even when Wyatt just calls me, he can tell. He knows. He's like, "Oh, are you having a bad day?" I don't know if it's the way I answer the phone. I don't know. But pretty quickly into the phone conversation, he's like, "Oh, are you having a bad day? Do you want me to call you tomorrow?" Or, whatever it is he says. Hunter, since Hunter's with me all the time, he can just look at me and know. Same thing with best friend. Best friend's been around me long enough now. He can tell by the way I am moving, by the way I'm standing up, by the way I'm sitting down, whatever, I'm doing. He can tell if I'm having a bad day or a pretty good day. I will say something I'm trying to get better at is best friend will ask me, "How are you doing today?" And I will tell you 99.9% of the time, I say, "Oh, I'm fine." And then he says, "You're lying." And he's right. It's just, I don't want people to see me in pain. I don't want people to see me um, vulnerable. That's really what it is. At the end of the day, I don't want people to see me vulnerable and or weak. And I will smile to hold back my tears. So I understand that line. And then he talked about something about Instagram and seeing quotes, inspirational quotes on there. I don't know what the line was, but I will say Zach Rushing and Officer Udi, and I have reacted multiple times to both of those guys. I will say once in a while they will get on, and it seems to always be the day I need to hear it. And they will get on there and they will post a video that is basically, "You can do this," and it's very inspirational. It's very encouraging. Now, there are times when they'll post it and I'll start watching and I'm like, I can't do this today, and I'll turn it off. But, there's days when I need it, and I see it, and, you know, it might make my day a little bit better. I won't say it always does, but it might make my day a little bit better. And, whatever you use, wherever you get inspirational videos, quotes, whatever from, it's okay if you don't need it every single day. It's okay. And then when Tom went into the chorus, or as I've learned, it's called the hook. Back in my day, you just called it the chorus. He talked about, uh, being a fighter, and he said, you're a fighter. If you say you're not, you're a liar." This is what I'm going to say to that. I'm so tired of fighting. I just had this conversation with Hunter, and I have officially had MS for 13 years now, and I've had my symptoms since 1999. So I've had my symptoms since 24 years, but I have official diagnosis for 13. And the entire 13 years, I have done nothing but fight doctors, fight insurance companies, fight pharmacies. Sorry, lost the wording. I fought my employer. It's just been, I fought the government, getting on disability. And, I've just done nothing but fight, fight, fight. And some fights I've just given up on. Like, I am tired of fighting with my doctors, and they don't listen to me. And this just appalls Hunter and best friend. They don't understand. They go, "How do they not listen to you?" And I'm like, I'm telling them what I'm feeling, what's going on with me. I'm telling them I've done research on this. This is what I think it is. What do you think it is? They don't tell me I'm crazy, but That's kind of what they insinuate. And I've had a couple of really good doctors, like my OBGYN. I did go to her and I said, look, I need to have a hysterectomy because my menstrual cycle is so immensely painful for me with my MS. I cannot take it anymore. And she's like, okay, you know what? You're 50 years old. You probably aren't going to use that stuff anymore anyway. And I was like, exactly. So she performed the hysterectomy for me. And I was very thankful for that. I have been through doctors because they don't listen to me. Now, usually it's because my insurance changes or the doctor goes out of my insurance network and I have to find a new one. I have just started seeing a new doctor because at the first of the year I got new insurance. And when I saw him this last time, he's like, do you have a neurologist? And I was like, nope. Why? You have MS. Here's why. Because of the opioid epidemic, or what I like to call it is people abusing the system. And not that I want to be on an opioid, but because of the opioid epidemic, doctors, you can sit and talk to them all day about the pain that you're in, and unless you have cancer, they don't even want to talk to you about it. They'll change the subject. I had one doctor tell me, I'll just take some Tylenol. Are you kidding me? Do you understand that there are days when my nerves throughout my entire body are so painful, I don't even want to wear clothes? Do you get that? And they do, but the government ties their hands. And that's fine. I'm not looking to be on an opioid. But I'm so tired of fighting with doctors. And I told the doctor I have now, I told him, until I can get with a doctor that is willing, whether that's a pain specialist or a pain management clinic, whatever, if I can get with a doctor that is willing to try anything to help me with my pain, I will not be on multiple sclerosis medication because I do not want to prolong my disease just so I can live in pain every day. Not saying that I'm going to unalive myself, so don't walk away from this podcast thinking that that's what I'm saying, because I'm not. I'm just saying I will not stop the progression. And it was really funny because he told me, he goes, well, I don't think that's a good decision, but I understand it. And I understand, you're a doctor. You want to prolong the lives of your patients. I get it. I get that. I get where you're coming from. But it's just not worth it to me. And so for that, Tom, I'm not a fighter. I'm not. I'm so tired of fighting. I've given up on it. And, I've just given up on it. I'm just too tired. It takes too much energy and it just takes everything from me. So for that part, I will say that, when the boys were younger, when they were at home, I did everything I could. I was on every MS medication that I could be on to slow my disease because I wanted to be here for them. I wanted to get them through school. I wanted to get them through college. I wanted to be comfortable enough that if something were to happen to me, that I could leave this world knowing that I have amazing young men that will be a plus to society and that can take care of themselves. And they're both at that point now. They are. Um, and, it's funny because now I just don't want them to be alone. And I feel the same way about best friend. And that's another whole conversation that maybe we'll have when he comes on my show. But, you know, that's my biggest worry now is I just don't want the boys to be alone. And, but it's okay. They're both great young men. And if they are, they are. And they'll be okay with that. So I'm okay with that. But anyway. So, Tom, thanks for the song. I'm not saying that I'm not a fighter, but I will say I'm tired of fighting. So, I don't know if that makes me a liar or not. I don't know in his eyes. But at the end of the video, I hope you saw the Tom MacDonald links for his Instagram and his X, formerly known as Twitter. I will put those links in my description. I will put a link to his YouTube channel. Please go sign up, subscribe to his social media because he does amazing videos. Even shorts. He does really good shorts, and he keeps you informed of when a new album is dropping, when a new song, video, whatever is dropping. He's really good about that. So let's go support him. He's another one of the independent artists, and he does an amazing job, and he does it all himself. So okay, so that's the video for today. I hope you guys liked it. Please go to Amazon or iTunes, download the song, and let's support Tom. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Bye.